things are there. First of all, one is the web, second is the search, and third thing is the mining. Web, you can say internet, you can say the World Wide Web. So what is the use of this World Wide Web or internet? Suppose you have a document or if you have a data and someone else need the particular same data from you. So first of all, he or she will ask you to get the data from your side, from you, and if you are agree, then you are sending the same data from your system to his or her system. Because the data was personal or that belongs to you only. So whenever you are agree to send the data from your system to that particular person, then only you are sending that and that particular person is getting that. Suppose you are in a situation where you are unable, you are not available at the time, or you are sleeping. Suppose you are sleeping at the time and that particular person wants the same data from you. So now it is not possible because you are sleeping. He will call you and you will, whether you will get up or not, then it's a different issue. It may not be able, that particular person will get that same data from your system because you are not available at that time due to some reason. So what is the way that a particular data is available to all and anyone can access that particular data from that location at any time, at anywhere? Okay, so that concept is internet, or that concept is World Wide Web come across this kind of requirement, in this kind of requirements. Okay, suppose you are using you are accessing a particular application from your mobile, and that application is available in the Google Play Store. So that Play Store or that particular application is available in the web, and anyone at anywhere can access that particular application into his or her system, because the particular data or the particular application is available in the internet, is available in the web. So that without any restriction, without any access permission, there may be some authentication. It may be, there may be some, it may need some authentication, but he or she can access their particular data at any time, at anywhere, without disturbing anyone else. So this is the first term about the internet, the web. That means now we are not bothering about a particular system, rather we are thinking in a global way. We are thinking that particular data or the particular item is present in the World Wide Web. We are not concentrating on a particular system, on a particular local system. Rather, we are thinking about the global system. Then come to the search, and then later it will be mining. Means search means, suppose search, and third thing is the mining. Though this search and mining are very related, but they have some differences. Search is a very mechanical operation, very robotic operation. That means you are asking to search a particular item. If it is available in your locality, you can provide that. You have certain values and being asked to search a particular number or search a particular value. If it is available, then provide. If it is not available, then you are unable to show that particular item. Searching. You have in your data structure linear search, binary search, like this kind of searching. Okay, you are not worried about what kind of data is being asked, why that kind of data being asked, whether it is whether this data is being important to you, whether this data is valid to you, whether this data is beneficial for you. No, you are not thinking about all these things. If it is being asked, you are being searched, and if it is fetched, you are providing that. You are not applying your intelligence into that searching technique. You are just thinking whether this particular value is available to me or not. That is search, finding something. Then the third thing is about that mining. Means here you are applying little bit of intelligence or some idea or thinking about what kind of data being asked to search, why it is being required, whether it is beneficial to you or not. Like this, suppose you have in a certain area you have different types of ores, bauxite ore, iron ore, copper ore, gold, like this, and you are mining something. There are several data are available, but out of those data you are searching the required, very much important for you, beneficial for you. You have several types of ores out of which you are searching which is much more beneficial for you. Suppose your interested area is in gold, mining gold. Though there are several kinds of ores are available, several kinds of metals you have in this particular location, in this particular area, but you are interested on a particular very important ore, that is gold. Yes. So this particular gold ore, or this particular gold will be much more beneficial than the rest of this data, the rest of these metals you have in this particular. So this, what we have discussed, the web or the internet or the network or network, where the data is accessible anytime at anywhere, 24/7. Then you are searching something. Searching means to search in a particular location whether it is available or not. But mining means you are applying some intelligence on this. So before searching or before mining anything throughout the internet, throughout the globe, first of all we will learn how a searching or how this mining can be done in a particular local system. Then we will jump for the internet, or then we will jump for the web. How this searching, how this mining can be done for a particular application or done for a particular item efficiently in a particular system, local system. Then we'll go for the web system. So this whole of this web search mining, it's a part of information retrieval. It's a part of information retrieval. You are retrieving the required information. Okay, you have a newspaper. You have a current today's newspaper. Are you going through bit by bit from the beginning of this page to the end of this page? No, never. No one goes like this. From the top of this beginning of this newspaper to the end of this newspaper. No. If that person is interested on current affair, he or she will jump to the particular page where the current affair is available. If that person is interested in sports, instead of going through whole newspaper, that person will jump to the particular page where the sports information is available. If that person is interested on finding any jobs, he or she will jump to the job page, like this. So you are retrieving or finding or searching or mining only that particular data which is required to you. You are retrieving the information out of this whole availability. You are retrieving information. All the data are available to you. All the data are available to you. But out of that, which is the required information to you? You are searching only that. That is information retrieval. So from this information retrieval, you can say this web search mining is a portion or part of this whole information retrieval. where you are searching something, you are fetching something throughout the internet. So searching on the web is a daily activity for many people throughout the world. Yes, of course. If today there was no Google concept of Google searching Google, then the jobs are very hectic. Several jobs will become very critical. If any questions comes in your mind, you are first of all searching through the internet, Google. Today Google is being used as a verb. Google it. That means you are search the particular term or search the particular item throughout the internet. Make it Google like this. Search and communications are most popular uses of the computer. Yes, because all the data being available in the available in the computer in digital form and very easy to search. If I'll ask you search this particular term in this particular book, if you are going through each and every hard copy book, I am asking about the hard copy book that you have in your library. I am not asking about the soft copy book, rather I am asking about the hard copy book. Then it is very critical for you, difficult for you to go through each and every line or each and every pages, each and every words present in the book and search the particular term. It is very difficult. But if it is available in digital form, in soft copy form, then you are just making a Ctrl F and searching the particular term or word. It's a work of few fraction of second. So nowadays this searching is being done throughout different applications and different time in anywhere, at anywhere. So basically this is the R&D work, research and development work of a portion of information retrieval. It's a part of R&D, that is IR, information retrieval. So look at this example. What are the different activities being performed in Google search engine, as it is one of the example of searching anything through internet, through globe, through web. Instead of searching the particular system, rather it is tries to search the full web. You are searching a particular term R32 represent. So what does it giving? It is giving to you three things. First of all, the meaning of the term, possible meaning of the term. Second, what are the different list where this term R32 may present? What are the different links, possible links where this R32 may present in any of the web pages, or you can say these are the web links, websites where these terms are present, R32 represent is present. First of all, Google tries to give some meaning, useful meaning, by applying its intelligence. Second, it gives you some number of website links through where these terms may present. And the third thing, some ads, sponsored ads of that particular term, so that if anybody wants to buy or purchase, he or she can do that. These are paid search ads. Except this, there are so many things, related works, related meanings you may find. So, but if anybody asks you to do something, what you are doing? You are searching. Whereas in case of a global searching, web searching, you have to do so many things. You have to apply your intelligence. What are the different possible things can happen, can be done in this particular search? Those things you have to perform. You have to keep all these kind of things in your mind before going to design a web search engine. IR or information database is a finding material, usually documents of an unstructured nature, usually text that satisfy an information need from within the large collection. Usually not stored in a single computer, rather in a set of computers on different computers. If you are searching a particular system, it's local search on that particular system, whether it is available or not. But here, in case of web search, you are searching a set of computers, huge large number of collections of computers. So one thing you should note that one thing is written over here, unstructured nature of data. Unstructured nature of data. So you should not think that whatever data you have, all are being structured. I will tell you the difference between structured and unstructured. The data may be unstructured. What are the data you have? You don't know exactly what is the things you have surrounding to you. All are unstructured. But first of all, come to the difference between structured and unstructured data. You know database management system, relational database management system. You have some tabular relationship, tabular representation of data, or it's also called as relation. Table is also called as relation. That means whatever data you have, all are being stored in a tabular fashion, in a relational fashion. That means every data are being supposed to be represented in a number of columns and number of rows. The columns may represent set of attributes, set of feature, or set of properties. Okay, and the number of rows, the lines, rows may represent some number of samples or copies or instances. Okay, suppose you have a table student. So student may have their roll number, may have their name, may have their parents' name, may have their email ID, may have their phone number, etc. Branch, semester, etc. So this name, roll number, branch, semester, parents' name, these all are maybe in column header, properties or attributes of that student. Whereas the number of rows are representing the each and every student's instances. Student 1, this kind of features they have. Student 2 may have this kind of features. Student 3 like this. So whenever you are representing the data in relational fashion or a DBMS database management fashion, tabular fashion, that means it is structured. You know what you have. Data structured manner. Everything is clear. This is the name of the student. This is the roll number of the student. This is the parent's name of the student. This is the phone number of the student. You know all this data that you have available to you. So using or implementing the data which are being structured is very easy. Is very easy. You just call that particular table, access that particular table, and use some number of SQL command and access that. Whenever anybody wants something, you can fetch it easily. But practically, in real life, data, most of the data are unstructured. I am taking this lecture class and I am providing this PPT to you, and I am asking you, find out what are the different verbs are there, what are the different names or nouns are there, what are the different places are there. What you will do? You will go through each and every page, you will have to go through each and every line, and you have to search it, whether it's a verb or not, whether it's a noun or not, whether it is the places or not. You have to do all things very manually. You cannot apply any command to get the required things, because it is most of the things are unstructured. Every pages are not having the same content, similar type of content. No, every pages may have different types of contents. So this kind of representation currently that you have in your surrounding, most approximately 80%. I will show you the graph. Approximately 79.2 or 80% of data are unstructured in nature, whereas only 20% of data are structured in tabular manner, and it is increasing. It is the data of 2017, 19, 20 like this. Currently it may increasing. So whatever data you have in surrounding to you, most of the data are unstructured. Very less data are structured. So dealing with the structured data or tabular data or relational data is very easy. You can anybody can do if that person knows SQL, Oracle commands. But practically this is not helpful to you because most of the data are unstructured. You are using Facebook, you are using Twitter, you are using WhatsApp, you are writing so many data, or any people can write anything throughout the globe without any restriction. So how to filter that? Which kind of messages will be there? Which kind of messages should be deleted? Which kind of data should be hidden, private in nature? How to filter all these things? Also, you may have some research concept, spam filtering. There are several mails that are coming. How Google will define or Gmail will define whether this kind of message is spam or not. Depending upon the nature of the data content written inside the mail, the email system, electronic mailing system will define whether this is spam or not. So basically data, I want to say that most of the data are unstructured, and you have to perform your concept, you have to perform your application in such a way that it can easily handle the unstructured data. Because most of the data are unstructured instead of it is being structured. So text files like word processing, spreadsheets, emails, logos, all are unstructured. But out of this unstructured, there are one more intermediate thing that is called as semi-structured. It is called as semi-structured. Why? Because suppose take the same example of this PPT presentation of this classroom. Though I have told that this particular PPT is completely unstructured because every pages are not similar, every pages do not have the same kind of writing styles, but still it is a semi-structured. It can be a semi-structured. How? Every pages have some title or heading. Every pages have some title or heading. Yes. Every pages have some body. Every pages have some body. And if you go through the property of that particular PPT, you will find the author who has written this and also the date on which it has been created. That means some number of information, some number of data are being presented inside this PPT, and you can find it very easily. This kind of data are being stored as a metadata, as its metadata. So most of the data are not completely unstructured, rather it is semi-structured, because it may have some metadata where some kind of data informations are present. You just have to apply your intelligence so that you can find that. So you may find the title, you may find the author, date on which it is being created, who has sent this, and where it is being reached. Like this kind of data, in generally we have most of the documents. So we can say this kind of data are present. We can say it's a kind of semi-structured. So I will just take the small example and we'll stop over here. Then 1 second. Suppose you have 3 books or novel of Shakespeare. That is, one word is Brutus, second term is Caesar, and third term is Calpurnia. And there are several number of novels or books we have for Shakespeare, and being asked you to find those plays or those documents or those novel or books where the word Brutus and Caesar are present but Calpurnia is not present. Brutus and Caesar are present whereas Calpurnia is not present. What you have to do? What you should do? You should start all things manually. You have to go through each and every line of every book written by Shakespeare and find whether it is consisting of Brutus, Caesar or not. If it is found that yes, Brutus and Caesar are present, then again go through the same books or novel to strip out or to delete those documents where Calpurnia is present. First go through all the books of Shakespeare where Brutus and Caesar are present, refine that, filter that, and from those books where Brutus and Caesar are present, again read that, again go through that and search whether Calpurnia is present or not. If present, again strip out, delete it, because we don't need the term Calpurnia. So the process is very slow. It takes a long time to do that. Yes, of course, the task is very heavy. You have to go through each and every book of every line, every pages of these books. Okay. Second example is, suppose you need to find those books or those novels where the word Roman's countrymen. Roman is written near to countrymen. Those are adjacent words. Roman countrymen. Whether this terms Roman's countrymen is present in any of the books. You should search only Romans? No, it is not correct. You should if you are searching countrymen, only countrymen? No, it is not correct. Though Romans and countrymen both are present in that book, still it is wrong. Because the question is, Roman is present near the countryman. Then only it is feasible, required to us. So your writing of query is little critical of this kind of scenario. But if you are presenting all this data in systematically in computer digital form, then will task become very easy. Suppose we have 5-6 number of novel or books of Shakespeare. One, second book, third book, fourth book, fifth book, and sixth. Our question was, Brutus and Caesar are present, whereas Calpurnia is not present. Brutus, Caesar must present, whereas Calpurnia is not present. So what are the different documents where the Brutus, Caesar are present? That is, one is first one, second one, third one. Only the 3 books where these Brutus, Caesar are present. Okay. So out of this, we have to find whether this Calpurnia is present or not. If it is present, I will discard that. If it is not present, I will accept that. So out of the first, second and third, first one 0 means Kalpuna is not present. Second one 1, that means Kalpuna is present, and the fourth one where 0 means Kalpuna not present. That means first and the fourth are required to me. Here 1 means present, 0 means not present. Like your market basket analysis, you are going to a shopping mall and purchasing the items. If you are purchasing, make it 1. If you are not purchasing or not putting in your basket, it is 0. So your valid or required document will be this one. 1 and the fourth. Antony and the Cleopatra and the Hamlet. You can do this way, manual, or you can say some operation, bitwise operation. You have to perform the AND operation where Brutus and Caesar is present, and you have to make it complemented. AND operation to the Calpurnia. So Brutus 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 0. So Brutus is 1 1 0 1 0 0. It is for Brutus, satisfying the document for Brutus. Similarly, for Caesar 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1. Then come to the Calpurnia complementary birth, because I don't need this Calpurnia. Calpurnia is 0 1 4 0. Make it complemented. This 0 will be 1 and 1 will be 0. So 1 0 4 1. After complemented, this 0 will be 1. Na? So 1 0 and 4 1. 1 0 4 1. Make it AND. So after making AND means out of this, if any of the bit is 0, the output will be 0. So 0 0, third thing is 1, here it is 1, here it is 1, so the third will be 1. And similarly, the first will be 1. So we got that first, second, third, fourth. Only the first and the fourth is 1 and rest are 0. Yes, also we have got that one. The first, Antony, the Cleopatra and the Hamlet, satisfying the requirement, where the rest are not. Okay. So this is a small example that how we do work of finding or searching or mining from the set of documents.